Hi viewers, I'm Sheila. I'm from Says Garments and Accessories, but we are now known as Says Gomejeje. I mean, if it's difficult to pronounce Gomejeje, please don't worry. Just call us Says G and we shall surely respond. Today's video is on how to make eyelet holes. We are doing these videos to help us clients who want to know how to use some of the tools that we sell. I have with me 3 different types of eyelet pliers or eyelet, plier makers. We have this one. It's solely for making eyelet holes, but it's not a puncher. So what you do is to get another tool that will aid you in making, in creating the hole before you use your plier to fasten your eyelet pins. This is an owl and that can serve that purpose. We have here another plier. This is an eyelet plier as well as a hole puncher. So the hole puncher can serve any purpose and for any kind of material you wish to make, create a hole, especially for fabrics, for papers. You can use it on leathers, fabric canvas materials. We have another third plier here. That is also a eyelet plier. It helps to use the pins, use the pins in making the eyelet holes, and as well as a hole puncher. But this one creates different types of holes in different sizes. One secret in making a very good eyelet fastener is that your hole should not be bigger than the dimension or the circumference of the pin you are using. So your hole should always be slightly smaller. This is because it helps you to make sure that the pin doesn't remove anytime you are washing or when the item is being used. It helps you to stay firm on your garment or anything that you are creating. One other thing is, depending on the type of fabric you are using, please don't forget to interface the fabric, especially when it's very light. If you are using a leather material, of course leather is very thick. You might not really need to interface leather before you create your eyelet holes. But then if you are using polyester or cotton, it's just advisable to apply a bit of fabric interfacing to the area you wish to have the eyelet hole made or eyelet made, and that way you prevent it makes the eyelet pin stays very firm on the fabric. It's able to withstand wear or washing, and it doesn't remove easily. What we are going to do right now is to start creating our hole. I'm going to use a middle eyelet plier because this is what we have available, and I love it so much because it does very perfect eyelet fastenings for me. We are going to create a hole. Sorry, I actually used the wrong place. What I should do is rather use the upper part. So I'm going to create my hole now by punching it, inserting the fabric through and then punching. After punching, I realized that I have this bit of fabric showing. What I have to do is the thread are showing. Just cut this off beautifully. Just trim every excess thread or yarn showing, so that at the end of the day you can have a very fine and a beautiful finish. That is the ultimate. Then I would insert my eyelet pin. The eyelet pin, what I realized is we have about 2 types. Some of them don't have the edges cut. If you look at this very well, you can see that it's actually been cut into pieces. It helps the extra fabric or the extra pin, the metal, to break and then fold on your fabric. So when you're buying, kindly watch out. The ones that don't have very tiny cuts in them, I advise you don't get it unless you are sure you can actually work with them. If not, the ones that have been cut breaks off very easily, and it makes gives you very beautiful finish. I'm trying to use a bigger eyelet hole this time. This dimension is slightly bigger than the ones I've previously made. This is quite bigger. So all you do is, with this for instance, it shows you exactly where your eyelet pin should sit, and it sits on this part of the plier. This is longer. This metal protruding is longer as compared to the other side. So what you do is, this inscription is here for you to be able to know exactly where to have your pin resting. Alternatively, if you don't have this design, this engravement here. What you would probably have to note is this, for instance, has this part engraved and it has a hole. This is exactly where you showed, but not this. This one is where enters. This rather goes to the upper part of the pin, where the lower part or the right side of the pin rather sits at this point. It rather sits inside where it's been grooved of the plier. But as I said, I want to use this for demonstration so that after purchasing this you can easily use it without having much problems. So then we are going to concentrate on this. We are going to use this as a guide, where the groove is, or where the emboss is, the diagram is, or where we have the groove all over, all around, and this metal point showing. This one sits here beautifully. The other side enters. All you do is to press it down as much as you can, or as firm as you can, just to break it down. If it doesn't break very well, all you do is go back. You can apply a little force. You can use a hammer or any metal you have. If it's an old padlock, it can always be used, so please don't throw your padlocks away. I can as well use this to hit it gently, just slightly and gently, and then I should have it breaking more. And at the end of the day, this is the eyelet hole that has been created. These are the previous ones we made. It broke out very nicely. Now you can see the difference. I can see the difference. This actually didn't break very well because it has a very long neck, and then the fabric probably was not thick enough, so it should have been on a double fabric, and then that one would have, we would have had this part lying flat. But these ones you can see are lying almost virtually the same, or almost as leveled as the fabric. So it all depends on the thickness of the fabric. If you're having a very thick fabric, I would advise that you use a very light interfacing on the thick fabric. If it's a very light fabric, then you can use the hard interfacings to make sure that your eyelets are firm when you make them. I hope you would learn from this video, and I pray that we'll be able to come up with other exciting videos on some of the tools we have, as well as the ironing aids we have in our shop. We'll come up with another video very soon. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please do call us on 050-968-1275. We'll be able to answer you. Thank you very much. Bye.